Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you watched my previous video, you know that I did KonMari decluttering 4 years ago, and more or less I'm still staying in the same decluttered state of mind. When I finished editing that video, I was thinking like, how many actually items I stopped buying or owning since this decluttering. So I wrote down a list of items and I ended up with 145 items that I don't own anymore or don't buy anymore. So I decided to create a video and tell you about all those items and also my reasoning for not owning them anymore. And this is the part one, more generic, just my basic principles about not buying certain things. First, number one, I don't do any Black Friday sales or Christmas sales or anything, especially the Black Friday sale. I guess it's easier for me not to participate in this madness because I didn't grow up in America. I didn't even know what is Black Friday before I first time came here. And I can't really support this thing when people just run into the shops. No, not run. They ram into the stores and just grab things and then they fight for boxes. Most of the time, I think the things that are sold on Black Friday is not something that you really need, but most of the time it's just something they would get because you feel like, oh my god, it's a discount. And also when I would check prices, sometimes I would see how some stores would just pretend it's a Black Friday sale, but then after the sale they're still gonna keep the same price. For example, before the Black Friday I was trying to get some Apple items and I saw some discounts on Best Buy, but then after the sale the items were still having this low price. What else? I don't buy things advertised on Instagram, with one exception. I do sometimes get excited about things that are advertised on Instagram. Let's say it's things like Stasher, also the brand of my hiking boots. I actually learned about it on Instagram. But what I do, if I find a brand that I really like, I go back to the website and then research. Okay, if they claim they're like premium hiking boots, I look for reviews. Are they legit? Are they long lasting? If they say they're sustainable, are they certified? Are they B Corp or anything? If they claim certain things, either any certification to support this claim. If they say organic, but their items don't have any organic certification by anyone. The reason why I'm so suspicious, I know there is so much scam happening on Instagram. I did my own research, and the things I learned actually make me really sad, and I really hate Instagram after that. Because my husband got scammed on Instagram because he was stupid enough to order some fancy tent. The website said it was like 90% or 70% on sale. Usually if something has 70% or sale or 50% of sale, and also it has this little timer like, oh, the sale ends in 24 hours, most of the time it's a scam. So basically when this particular tent arrived, it had nothing to do with the tent that was advertised. It turned out that the seller of this item was in China, and he just said, sorry, we can't do anything. And he just stopped replying our emails and we couldn't do nothing. So now what I do, I double check that the website looks legit, the company, it's like legit business. I also look for reviews, because if my husband looked for reviews for this particular tent, he would find tons of people like reporting this as a scam. Also, I look at the shipping profile, from where they ship. If they ship from China or they don't say from where they ship the item, I just don't buy it at all. Also, I go to social media to see Instagram and the rest, to see if this is actually a legit company or it's really like a store that sells everything from socks to cups to mattresses and everything. So if the store sells everything, like different items, it's most probably like some Chinese AliExpress reseller or dropshipper. The same actually goes to Etsy. I used to buy lots of things on Etsy because I wanted to support like some independent handcrafters. Now, before buying something on Etsy, I really do my research about this person. I check their social media if they have, to make sure that it's a legit person. A couple of times I ordered some silver like jewelry from Etsy, thinking that this person is is making this by hand, but then I saw the same exact item on AliExpress and I paid like $25 for that thing, and on AliExpress it was like $2. So this is really annoying that the Etsy doesn't do anything about these items. I don't have Amazon Prime subscriptions anymore. I just canceled it last month because I just realized Amazon like makes me buy more than I need. Plus, because I work from home, I better off get out of the house and walk to the store instead of me ordering everything online. And also, unfortunately, Amazon has lots of counterfeit items. I just did research about that and I was shocked. And also, they have lots of Chinese crap that you can actually order from AliExpress, like 5 times cheaper. So if I need to buy something, I just order from AliExpress. I just have to wait a little bit longer. What else I hate? I hate subscription boxes. When you pay a certain amount of time and then send you a box, and it's like a gift box. You open it up and there are items, and the value of these items are actually bigger than what you paid. But most of the time, if you only take the item that you're truly gonna use, you probably overpaid much more. I don't even know why people do it. It's just such a waste of money. If you need something, just go buy it, because if you don't need it, and if you didn't buy it before, you probably don't need it. It's just waste of money. But I guess people like to waste money because they want to work more, and I don't know, just in general. Also, I don't buy any eco or sustainable like items just because they are eco or sustainable. Before buying something, I go and research this company. If they claim that they are sustainable, are they certified? Are they transparent about their business, the production? I also check reviews. For example, once I found this company, they claim like they're sustainable like outerwear, but then when I check their reviews on Glassdoor, it turns out that they have very low rating from their in-place, and in-place said it's the worst place. Yeah, maybe they use sustainable fabrics, but in general, it's a crazy place to work. It's like no one gets promoted. People get over hours. They are paid low wages, and it's here in America. So for me, like if the company has rating 2 out of 5 on Glassdoor, I don't know how they can claim they're sustainable. Other things I don't buy anymore. I don't buy things with my credit card. And I'm not talking for people who just buy things and then immediately pay it off, you know, so they just do it for cashback or something. Or like, I mean, I don't buy things. If I don't have money, I will not actually buy it with my credit card. I used to do it a lot, but then in 2009 or something like this, I actually got rid of all the credit cards and also of all the debt. So I didn't have any personal debt. I don't own any money to any banks. And actually my life is much better. You would think like, oh, it will be harder for me to buy things, but actually by buying less, by only focusing on important categories, I could set aside more money to buy things I truly need. And if I need to buy something expensive, I just save for it. It's much better than just swiping your card and buying more than you can pay off. Other interesting category, things that I don't buy anymore as new items, you know, I only buy secondhand. Any type of furniture, I mean, except of couches and mattresses and pillows, you know, something that has stuffing in it, like anything like wooden or plastic or metal, those things, you know, that you can easily wash and there are no like bed bugs or something in there. Those things I only buy secondhand. It saves me a lot of money instead of buying things new. And the good thing, when you're going to resell it after, you're probably going to get your money back. I remember I had this particular shelf, I bought it secondhand, and then when we moved to another apartment, I didn't need this shelf anymore, just didn't fit anymore. I actually sold it on Craigslist and I just got my money back. So basically I was using the shelf for a year for free. Other things I would not buy new. Car. I don't know why people buy new car. Seriously, your car drops in price from 20 to 30%. You know, it's pointless. You can always buy a car that's only like 1, 2, 3, 4 years old. So it's almost as new. You can even look for cars that have like good condition, you know, inside and outside, not damaged, not dirty, not anything, but pay so much less. So the next car I will buy will be definitely secondhand. And here's another thing. I will not buy a car unless I really need it. I work from home, so I technically don't really need a car. Right now, like whenever I need to go on my own and my husband, let's say he's busy, and since we don't have public transportation where we live, I actually use an old car. This car is like, I don't know how many years old. It was used by my husband's mother when she's like here in America. It was used by his niece. So it's like so many people used it, and now because nobody needed it anymore, they just gave it back to me so I can use it. This car is really old, but it's still running, and I will not buy another car. Also important thing, if I buy a new car, it's going to be either electric or hybrid. Technically, we can't really buy electric car because we live in an apartment and there is nowhere we can charge it. So unless we have a private home where we can charge it, and especially like home with solar panels, I would probably get a hybrid. So hybrid is a car that is like partially electric, partially runs on fuel. But the cool thing about it, because the car that my husband has, it's a Toyota Prius, he uses so much less petrol than my car, for example. So if you're looking for a money-saving car, just get yourself an old Toyota Prius, something like 2010, 2012, and so on. It's in a great condition and runs perfectly, and it saves us money on gas. And in case if you're looking for an electric car, most people think that Tesla is the only electric car. There are like so many other electric cars that are cheaper, or at least you get a better value for your dollar. The car I really want to buy, because we do a lot of camping and road tripping, I really want to buy Kia Niro because it's a hybrid car and it looks nice and it has so much space inside. I can put all my gear there, like surfboards and stuff. I'm not buying a new car unless mine is still running. Other Other things we don't buy new, it's sport equipment. I mean, some things we still do buy new, but for example, when I was buying surfboards, I was often buying used ones because you can save like at least $200-300, sometimes even more. Also, if you buy any sport equipment, for example, we recently got bikes, and me and my husband, we got this brand name bikes. He has a Giant, I have a Trek. In total, for 2 bikes, we paid $200 instead of like paying $500 each. We don't buy any sports equipment for any activities that we don't perform on a regular basis. So, for example, our exception, we ride our bikes regularly, we surf, we do camping. So for these things, we have equipment. But something like snowboarding, we would probably go once a year. We're better off just renting it instead of buying our own. The same for people. If you only like go surfing, like, I don't know, once in a couple of months, you're just better off just renting things. Other things that we don't buy new is electronics. It's not everything we buy secondhand, but lots of things. For example, phones we buy secondhand, like this iPad, it's also secondhand. Like some other gadgets, especially kitchen gadgets, like, I don't know, Instant Pot, I don't know, bread machine, like whatever, like things you want to buy. I usually buy it secondhand. Even like my vermicomposter, I bought secondhand because you are saving so much money. I know, it's crazy. Like my vermicomposter, if I bought it new, it was something like $120, and I bought it for $20 or $30 because it was used, but it was in a great condition, but it was in a perfect condition. Things I don't buy as well, it's any impulse item. So if I just see something, I'm like, oh, I need it, I don't buy it anymore. I really had lots of problems buying things on an impulse. So now what I do, I just have a shopping list and I try to buy things only once a month. Because if you do individual purchases, it's like, oh, $5 here, $10 here, $5 here. You can actually spend much more than when you do your shopping once a month. You like put everything in a cart and then you see the total amount and you're like, oh my God, all these items are $200 in total. I don't want to spend $200. And you start like crossing out items instead of just, if you do individual shopping, you would buy much more. Things I also don't buy, it's stationery. I used to buy lots of notebooks, little, I don't know, pens, pencils, liners, like lots of stuff, because I like to draw by hand, to write by hand. I'm journaling a lot. But now, since I got my iPad with the stylus pen, and as I said, I got it secondhand, so I saved a lot of money, I'm actually moving more into like drawing or writing by hand in my iPad. So it saves on paper. It saves on me buying new, like, you know, stationery items. Even before that, what I would do, I would never buy new, like, roller pens. I would actually use ink. So I would buy ink in a bottle and I would buy fountain pens. It's actually much more eco-friendly than buying new plasticky pens all the time. Things I don't have anymore, it's different subscriptions. Other things I don't buy printed books anymore, and it quite some time. So if I need to buy a book, I would buy it electronically because I have a Kindle, or I just buy audiobook. But actually in the last couple of years, I stopped even buying those books because so now I just borrow them from the library. Lots of people don't know that you can actually sign up for libraries and you can actually borrow electronic books from there. So I use the app Libby, and another one it's called Hoopla. So I can borrow electronic books, and in Libby, for example, I can actually transfer this book to my Kindle. So I still read it from Kindle. And if it's audiobook, you just listen in this app. Of course, there are other services like Audible, and also Chirp is a good one. But I just realized I can find almost any book in Hoopla or Libby. My life hack is that I sign up to 5 different library networks because they usually don't care where you live. So every time I go somewhere, I sign up for a library. So now I can actually electronically borrow books from all these libraries. So I don't need to physically go there. So I don't care how far it's from my house. I just borrow electronic books. In terms of holidays, I don't buy mass holidays gifts. So, when you have to give a gift for Christmas to your every person, to your every relative, I don't do that because most of the time these gifts are useless things, useless little trinkets that you give to people. I only buy gifts for, like, let's say for my husband, or if I have some friends I'm gonna meet before Christmas, I would buy gifts for them. Or let's say, like, if I go see my parents, I would buy gifts for them, but that's it. Only I will buy things if I know that's something they need, If I don't know what they need and what I can buy for this particular the amount of money, I would not buy anything at all. Things I don't buy besides gifts itself, I never buy gift wrapping. All this, also this little like decor that you put on top of your gift wrapping, I think it's such a useless way to spend resources. Somebody will get it, rip the paper and throw away. It's like so stupid. There is a joke in our family, like actually once my husband gave me a gift and he bought a box. I don't know why he got it, but I guess he felt like he wants to pack it nicely. And we didn't throw this box away. Now we are reusing it for 3 years. So every time we give gifts to each other, we put it in the box. It's almost a joke, just reusing the same box for like God knows how long. Okay, and this is the only like gift wrapping or gift box we ever bought. Also, I don't buy any gift cards because most of the time it's useless. First of all, you force the person to shop in this particular store. And second, usually like people can't buy something for the same amount. So either some money is just left on this gift card and wasted, or they have to buy more things to kind of use up the money. So you kind of force people to consume. Of course, there are some exceptions when you have to give something as a gift and you know this person likes this particular brand. Maybe you can do it, but in general, it's just a way for us to, I don't know, boost somebody else's consumerism. I don't like it. Other things that I don't buy any seasonal decor, you know, like especially here in America, people buy Easter decoration, Valentine's, I don't know what else, like Halloween, autumn, Christmas, summer, I don't know what, like 4th of July. There are so many holidays. People constantly buy this cheap plastic crap or paper and then they hang it and then they throw it away in the end. Or sometimes it's so sad to see when you go to the supermarket, they have aisles and aisles of like, I don't know, Easter decor. And then 1 week after Easter, they start like, you know, selling it's cheaper. And then I guess they probably just throw it away because they have so many items they didn't sell. The reason I don't like seasonal decor because so much stuff goes to waste, especially when people just use it once and throw away. So I don't want to support this industry. It's just cheap crap produced in China in some sweat factories just for us, people in America, to decorate our homes. I did actually a Christmas decor last year, but I tried to do things like DIY, so I did things myself, and maybe before like next Christmas I will do like a little video and explain how I was doing my homemade decor and not buying Chinese plastic crap. Here also comes not only seasonal decor but also some party decor, you know, like things when you decorate your party. It's like it's horrible, but balloons and other things. I mean, if you have children, maybe you can do it, but if you're grown up, you're better off saving the planet. Or at least use the ones that you can reuse every year. What else I don't buy? I don't buy cheap home decor, especially now, you know, it's so popular to buy these little like frames with this inspirational quotes or little trinkets people put on the desk or around the house. Like I do buy things once in a while and you will see my house is not that minimalistic, but lots of stuff, actually lots of frames you can see in my house. I actually found them in the garbage. I mean, you know, when people move out, they just put out everything that they don't need. And I usually hunt for frames there, so I basically didn't buy a single frame for this house. I found everything literally from people moving out. Like we have little trinkets here and there, but like I just look around my room, but not so many things. Just the ones that really are meaningful to me. The biggest thing that probably stopped me from buying little trinkets, little decor, little unnecessary thing, I just calculated how much I make per hour. So per hour of work, how much I make. And when I realized that sometimes I would work for a couple of hours just to pay for some stupid item that I don't really need, that actually made me like reconsider buying those things. So if you never did this calculation, like how much hourly you make, like after taxes, after everything, just count it and see like how many hours it takes you to work to buy a particular item. For example, you are the one who likes to buy purses. Every time you buy a new purse, just how many hours, how many days you have to work to get this purse? Is it even worse like spending 3 days of work to get another purse like again? So that's really like, I don't know, mind-opening, I would say. Another thing about the gifts, I hate the free gifts that they give to you when you buy something. Usually it's like cheap, unnecessary crap. So I try to avoid any free gifts unless I really need it. Most time I don't. Other things I don't buy any souvenirs from travel, you know, these little magnets, postcards, I don't know, t-shirts with the name of the place from where you came from. I do sometimes exceptions. For example, when I traveled to India, I bought these beautiful espresso cups, but I actually needed to buy espresso cups, so that was a good thing. Usually I just bring food, so I bring some snacks or some sweets because I want people like to try something that was cooked in this country and kind of like feel the cultural, like just enjoy the piece of this country membership for a second, instead of just having some stupid magnet that they're gonna attach to their fridge and it's gonna just collect dust. In terms of traveling, I also don't buy any package tours, so something like, oh, all-inclusive hotel and everything, like ticket and the hotel and everything is included. Because I believe this kind of travel doesn't let you understand the country. You don't feel the authenticity, you don't get out of your hotel, you have everything organized for you. I think if you want to travel, you have to travel like by being more close to the culture and just organizing everything yourself, because you're just gonna have a much deeper experience. I don't know, I can do the whole video about it separately, but I really hate those package tours. Other things I don't buy any gym memberships. I never actually bought a single gym membership in my entire life, because most people buy it and then they don't really go there. Like, I don't know, 90% of people don't go there. So I think I saved myself so much money never buying it. I would still pay for some sports. For example, I go to yoga, I used to do like other sports, so I would pay per lesson or per session. So this kind of stuff I understand, because you pay for a session that you go to, but just a gym membership is not something I would ever pay for. Other things that I would never buy, it's not things actually, I would never buy expensive breed of pet. So for example, people pay for dogs or cats that are some fancy rare breed and they spend a lot of money. Well, there are so many animals in the shelters. I mean, I understand if you always dreamed about particular breed, I understand that, but most of the time people just do it. I don't even know why, and they probably don't know themselves. For me, all my pets that I have in my entire life, they would always like just, I don't know, when I was a child, we had a cat, it was just a stray cat, like a stray kitten. My dog, I actually adopted this dog from a shelter. It's called Bark in Bali, and I actually brought it here. Now she's an American dog. She actually enjoys it a lot. Like in the future, we're gonna adopt more either cats or dogs, and they're gonna be shelter animals. No way we're gonna be paying for some animal that somebody breed when there are all these doggies in the shelter. And if you're not sure you want to adopt a dog or a pet from a shelter, just watch the Dodo channel. After that, you would want to adopt anything. My husband even told me he wants to adopt a raccoon that comes to our house every day and like scavenges, because he's like, this raccoon is so cute, I watched Dodo, I want to adopt it. But we are not adopting wild animals, obviously. Anyway, if you like this video, please subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to watch the next video, because it's going to be the part 2. I still have some other categories I don't buy things in, and I want to share it with you. Chichi, you can't be standing here with your butt. You have to lay down or show your face, not the butt, Chichi. The butt is not good. Moko, no one wants to see your butt. Seriously, Chichi.